Well, I thought it would take longer than it actually happened, but it's happened. The Tesla flippening. So let's get into it. Matt, what are we talking about?
The Tesla flippening is probably not a term that anyone outside a very small circle of people at Halter Ferguson might talk about, but the flippening is the fact that clients of Halter Ferguson Financial, as of the latest 13F filing on June 30th, now own more shares of Tesla than Gerber Kawasaki. Now, that is particularly surprising, I think, since Halter Ferguson Financial has just a fraction of the assets that Gerber Kawasaki has. And for those of you who don't know, Halter Ferguson Financial is the parent company of Rebellionaire. Rebellionaire is just a brand essentially under that registered investment advisor. And let me just run through the numbers quickly. So on June 30th, Halter Ferguson had around 308,000, just over, shares disclosed. And Gerber Kawasaki had 291,000, a little bit under that, actually. So if you look at the quarter over quarter change from where we were at the end of Q1, Halter Ferguson Financial added a little over 45,000 shares. Gerber Kawasaki decreased by about 41,000 shares. What do you think happened here, Bradford?
I think it's a little bit due to Ross's comments around the Tesla shareholder board about Elon's politics and just the overall negativity. He seems to be championing Rivian over Tesla, and he just seems like really out there, and it seems to have a overly emotional aspect to it, where it doesn't seem super balanced. It seems like very negative, and these changes in the numbers may not mean that they were selling, but there may have been an outflow of clients. So it's a combination of inflows minus outflows, and then selling versus buying. So combination of the two.
Yeah, so we don't know exactly what happened. Obviously, that's an aggregation of many different decisions and activities that happened within a quarter. But what we do know is that Ross was very vocal during Q2 about selling. I think he even talked about advising clients to sell during that quarter. So it seems likely to us, anyways, that he was kind of actively advising clients to lower their Tesla exposure, which, like, we're all about risk management. We don't want to be like uber bulls who are kind of disjointed from reality. I think the only reason we're making a video about this is just that the quality of his arguments were so poor in our estimation. I mean, he was talking about like the politics, as you mentioned, Bradford, and he was talking about this vote being a really bad thing and all the stuff going on with Elon and Delaware and all that, which, keep in mind, for most of Q2, the stock was below $200. And this was a
And
time,
the vote happened on June 13th, I believe. So if he was advising his clients before then, I think the stock was below 200 when that vote happened.
yeah, and that was, I think you were one of the lone voices out there basically saying if this vote passes, that's actually going to be a catalyst for the stock, not just like a non-event. I think a lot of people were talking about kind of asymmetries with the risk where, like, if it passes, like, nothing good will happen, but if it doesn't pass, then lots of bad things will happen. There was a lot of fear
Yeah.
in this time, and I think, frankly, stoked by people like Ross who were just talking about nothing but the bad news. And so we were looking at recovering deliveries, and while we didn't think that by any stretch that Tesla was out of the woods in terms of margin pressure and that sort of thing, we also thought it wasn't nearly as bad as Ross was making it out to be. So it's just, I personally find it frustrating that advisors who should be like extremely knowledgeable about the investments that they have their clients on, I think the quality of his arguments and his understanding of the company is just pretty limited. It seems to me that he's been much more focused on getting airtime and being vocal as a way to maybe bring in new business than he has been about actually really doing the work to understand this company deeply and provide a like fair and objective opinion on it. Now, I do think he actually believes the stuff that he's saying. I'm not saying he's a
Making
bad
that up.
actor or anything like that, but I just think his points are not very good is my main point.
Yeah. And I think when it comes to investment advice, I've been an investment advisor for 19 years. And I think what you want as a client is an advisor who isn't going to give in to the fear when the fear comes. So, like when things are in the dumps, you don't want your advisor to pile on at that point. Because if they do that, then you're tempted to sell at that point. And you also don't want your advisor to be like super high when it shoots up, because that's time when you want to be trimming back. So you don't want your advisor to be amplifying the emotion. And I think generally what you'll find with Matt and myself, Cern Basher and Gary Black also seem to be, I'd say Gary's more balanced, and Cern's a little more optimistic, but he actually digs into the numbers and creates these huge valuations. Yeah, I think that's what folks should be looking for, in my opinion. I'm not recommending that Cern or Gary, but it's my thoughts there.
Yeah, so I think the point is we're not just piling on Ross because we think we should get all of his clients or anything like that. There are other advisors. We're not going to agree with them on everything, but where we wouldn't make a video of this kind of criticizing their commentary in the marketplace. But I do think as prominent of a place as Ross has had in this community and as Gerber Kawasaki has had, I think as of late they've not necessarily done their clients the best that they can in terms of really understanding the stock and the business opportunity from here. So we'll never agree with everybody on everything, but in this case, it's very frustrating to see Ross getting so much airtime and seeming to use it for personal aggrandizement rather than really advancing the knowledge of the Tesla community, which is what we try to do.
So as of the end of the year, so this is an exact number, he had 2.4 billion in assets under management, and our assets under management was at 378 million. For us to essentially flip him on Tesla shares really shocked me. And I didn't think it would happen so quickly. So he's got us by 6x. We have a lot of money in mutual funds. Ross doesn't have as high a percentage of mutual funds. So when you're looking at these 13Fs, just because the share count drops, it doesn't mean the advisor sold. It may mean clients left. And it doesn't, us increasing by the amount we did, it doesn't mean that we bought that many shares. It's a combination of inflows of clients that have the shares and our net purchases. Just wanted to share this with you all. I thought it'd be a little bit of popcorn inducing watch for you.
I think we're certainly happy about it. And I think the conversations we've had with newer clients have been really helpful.
We want to help people take advantage of the volatility, and if they're wanting to retain shares, to help them retain and potentially grow shares. Matt, I'll put you on the spot. Now that we have passed, at least as of June 30th, Gerber Kawasaki, do you think Tesla will give us an invite to their IR presentations?
No. I don't think so. No, I still have never received an invite to any Tesla event ever. So I would love the chance to, but I think they tend not to play favorites too much. So I'm not banking on us getting any special treatment, but I would absolutely love to go to the 1010 event. So I don't know. Any Tesla employees are watching that can pull any strings. Yeah, let us know.
I know I'm asking you to speculate here, but with how negative Ross has been, do you think he's still on the list?
I wouldn't think so. I don't know. On the other hand, maybe you don't want to burn that bridge anymore, but I feel like Elon and Tesla DGAF about like burning a bridge with Ross. It's like he burned the bridge with them. I don't think it's really the other way around. So I don't know. I would think that he doesn't get an invite just automatically, but who knows? It's a mystery. Nobody knows how that works.
All right. Well, Travis Axelrod of Tesla, you know where to find us. We'd like to be in communication and to better communicate the story around Tesla. Well, that's it. Bye for now.
Bye for now.